throughout the evening as we go through the event. So we hope to make this interactive, and if you have questions or just want to know something about our program or the farming or farmers that we're working with, we really encourage you to take advantage of that Q&A section on your Zoom panel there so we can get those questions answered for you. So for those of you who aren't familiar, New Entry was founded in 1998. We're a program of the Tufts Friedman School of Nutrition Science and Policy, and our mission really is to provide training and opportunities for new and beginning farmers. Our vision for the future includes a whole lot of prosperous agrarians littering our farmland landscapes out there, and we want to make sure that agriculture is a viable career pathway for a diversity of producers. So New Entry has three main programs. We have our training programs for new farmers, and that includes all our educational courses. We do an Explore Farming workshop, our crop production course where we teach hands-on skills, our business planning courses, and other educational events throughout the year. This year, we had to move all of our courses online, as you can imagine. We had over 40 students who learned to farm virtually and were able to come out and volunteer periodically in our demonstration plot. We also have our Food Hub, which is our program that helps provide marketing opportunity for our beginning farmers, and we connect that produce that they grow to our community-supported agriculture, CSA customers. We do a lot of food access work. We have over 200 senior shares that go out each week. And this year, we participated in the USDA Farm to Families Food Box program, and we're delivering over 600 boxes a week to Salem Public Schools. We also have our national programs, which help provide a community of practice or professional development for other incubator and apprenticeship training programs across the country. So we're really grateful to have had a second season here at Moraine Farm. Despite COVID, our farmers were able to get out on the land this spring and grow a lot of food for our community. We have 11 businesses who are operating here at Moraine Farm this year at Moraine Farm, and they've all had great success with their markets. People were really hungry for local food, no pun intended. So we've had our 3/4 acre demonstration plot. This year, New Entry is growing some wholesale crops for institutions and schools as well. We're also demonstrating at scale field production. And as I said, our Food Hub has been going crazy. We've just had so much demand. Thank you to all of you. If any of you are CSA shareholders, we appreciate that. We introduced a new CSA Your Way program this year, so people can either subscribe traditionally, or if you want to just kind of put down a deposit, then you can order any kind of any products that we have from week to week. We post our availability and people can order, and we custom pack your order for you. So we have several locations in the greater Boston area, and you can also sign up for home delivery with a service that we have. We launched a crowdfunding campaign this year to support our food access programming, and we're grateful to everyone who contributed to that. And we're extremely grateful for all the volunteers who came out and helped us pack so many shares this year. I mean, there's been so much food going off the farm and to communities that need it, and we're really grateful for all the help that we've received through that process. So why is this important? As we can all have witnessed, you know, COVID was really the first time that people, I think, saw supermarket shelves empty and really started to question our food supply chain. You know, where does our food come from? A lot of big agribusinesses were really challenged to pivot and fill some of those needs that we needed to as things were disrupted. So we really are appreciative of our essential farmers and farm workers who've helped continue to provide local and regional food in our community. And also, you know, farmers are aging and retiring. A lot of them don't have identified successors, and people really do want to farm. We're going to hear a little bit later from some of our farmers who are very excited and eager to farm, and we're so glad to be able to help people fulfill their farming dreams here. So we're celebrating 22 years this year of helping farmers farm, and we'd like to encourage you again to ask some questions as we go through the evening, and we're going to kick this off with a virtual tour of the incubator farm, so you get to understand kind of where we're at. So hope you enjoy the video, and we'll be back soon.
Welcome to this virtual tour of New Entry Sustainable Farming Project located in Beverly, Massachusetts. Here is New Entry's Executive Director, Jennifer Hashley.
Hi, welcome to the New Entry Sustainable Farming Project. We're here at Moraine Farm in Beverly, Massachusetts, and we're so excited to welcome you to this virtual farm tour and to show you around the training program. So New Entry was started in 1998 as a way to help immigrants and refugees with farming backgrounds begin commercial farming, and we've expanded our audience to help all beginning farmers who are interested in learning to farm and grow food for our local communities. So hope you like your tour and enjoy everything.
Our office is located next to the historic Red Barn. Besides being the locus of our administrative activities, our office hosts guests and students in our various workshops and classes, including our Explore Farming workshop, our Farm Business Planning course, and our crop production course when we meet inside. In addition to learning in the classroom and through online coursework, our educational programming offers hands-on learning in our 3/4 acre demonstration plot located here. Our demonstration plot is the platform from which we do our hands-on educational programming. So our crop production course learns a lot of the techniques that go into growing food right out here in the field. Volunteers who come get some hands-on experience here. And the demonstration plot also is an opportunity where incubator farmers can implement some of the techniques we're demonstrating here if they so choose. Our incubator farmer program invites new farmers to come and start their farm businesses here. This land is devoted to the incubator farmers, and this year we have 11 farm businesses growing here.
My name is Brendan. I'm the farm manager here. Just going to give you all an intro about what we do here. New Entry runs an incubator farm. It's about 18-acre property thereabouts. We currently have 11 incubator farmers on site. We offer a couple of courses as well as access to the incubator farm. We have our crop production course, which runs once annually over the summer, in line with the growing season up here in Massachusetts. And then we offer a business planning course, which runs twice a year, once in the fall, once in the winter. And that is the one prerequisite for any grower who wants to be on our incubator farm. The goal of the business planning course is to have a working business plan that those farmers can then implement while on the incubator farm. So right now you're looking at one of our incubator's fields. He's in his second year. When a farmer comes in, they start on a 1/4 acre parcel, and then in their second year, they have the option to expand up to a 1/2 acre, and in their third year, they can continue to expand, all the way up to a full acre. In addition to offering access to land, we also provide infrastructure and equipment, stuff like a wash station, cooler space, access to hand tools and tractor work, access to BCS tractors with a range of implements, the ability to lay plastic, access to a propagation greenhouse, irrigation system, and whatnot.
Tools for the farm operations and the incubator farmers are kept in the tool bays.
Yeah, we got a selection of different tools for our incubator farmers to use. Hanging up here on the wall, we got rakes and chopping hose, shovels, kind of more fine-tuned detail weeding for a hoe, or the co-linear hoe, a crew favorite. Shovels, steel rakes, and then some power equipment, weed whackers, and then kind of the Cadillac fleet, I guess you could call it, BCS 2-wheel tractors. Currently we have 3 of them, and they're outfitted with a number of different implements. This is our newest one right here with a flail mower attachment. We have the old-fashioned with a tiller on it, and then another mower on this guy over here. There's a couple other implements that are not attached right now, but all our incubators have full free reign of using these 3 2-wheel tractors once they've been trained. And then we have our larger tractors that the farmers use, and by the farmers I mean the staff use to prepare the fields. We have some seeders, direct seeders up there that are available for our incubator farmers to use. And yeah, number of odds and ends down here. The assortment is ever growing.
Seedlings for our farm operations and for the incubator farmers are started in the propagation greenhouse.
So this is our propagation house right now. It's about probably 26 by 90-ish. This stays a propagation house all year round. Obviously you can see in here we have some of our farmers just doing some late season greens, some microgreens, and obviously it's a curing space. We got some squash in here right now, our beloved black futsu, maybe the most delicious squash in the world. So we start up propagation in here probably mid-March. As for watering, it's a shared, kind of shared schedule that we create. The new entry staffs manage watering duties 4 days a week, and then the farmers share weekend and Friday watering duties amongst themselves.
Across from the propagation greenhouse is our wash station.
So this is our wash station we're looking at right now. It's obviously in a converted greenhouse, heated greenhouse. So we use this space for propagation in the early season, and then early June we convert it to a wash station. Right now we have kind of two distinct wash areas, so two farmers can wash in here at any given time. We have city water in here, which is what we wash with, which simplifies food safety concerns. And I should mention that we do some food safety training as well for all of our farmers. And with 11 farmers right now, we're kind of at capacity. We're currently looking into expanding our wash space out of this structure. All things considered, it's a pretty simple, low-cost way to utilize existing infrastructure, and that's worked pretty well.
Finally, we come to our food hub, located in the brown ag barn by our parking area.
Welcome to the Food Hub. I'm Jacob, the Food Hub manager. In here is where we pack a bunch of produce every week. We have 5 food access sites where we serve seniors and low-income households in the greater Boston area. And we also have about 250 CSA members that we pack boxes for. During a normal week, this packing line will be extended, and we'll send boxes down it and have volunteers and staff members on both sides of the line. And then we have one cooler, which you can see behind me, which is full of fresh produce. And we have another cooler off to the side here, which is full of some more produce. Now the Food Hub gets most of its produce from the incubator farmers located here at Moraine Farm. We buy from about 15 different incubator farmers, and they supply our CSA and our food access work. We also have farmers located in Dracut who went through farmer training programs a few years ago, and we buy in their produce, which goes into the shares as well.
If I look back, and I think I could not do it without new entry's help. Giving the land, giving the resources you need, giving the training you need to succeed. It is not just I am dreaming about farming, it's a lot behind the scene. So new entry is, I think, equipped with all those resources, and finding all those resources in one place, I think it is hard.
Well, thank you very much for that. I'm really appreciative of our staff who put that together. And now I'd like to introduce Trisha Perez-Keneally, who is a chef and owner of the Inn at Hastings Park. Known her for such a long time. She's been a longtime customer of my husband and I's farm. She bought one of our first pigs long ago. She's been an ardent supporter of new entry. She's also the chair of the board of advisors of the Tufts Friedman School and an excellent chef. So she is going to take us through cooking demonstration with some of our fresh harvested greens, literally just like probably 15 minutes ago or so, plucked out of the field here at Moraine Farm, and she's going to whip them up into something delicious.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for taking time out of such a beautiful day to come and spend some time with us here at New Entry. I had the pleasure of spending a good portion of my summer here with my sons and some of their friends. we volunteered to pack some of the food shares, and it was an incredibly rewarding experience for all of us to know that there was something that we were doing to help other people during these really difficult times. Dean Mostafarian talks about how when we sort of revisit and study what we could have done differently during the pandemic, one of the things that we really should talk about is what we could have done to prepare ahead of time by really practicing good nutrition. And we are so lucky to have access to this farm that just has an incredible amount of resources for things that we can use to make delicious, delicious food. So two of the abundant crops right now, collard greens, which have long been a staple of the American diet. Most people think that they came from Africa. They actually originated in the Mediterranean, but were brought to the United States by the first African settlers in Jamestown. And it was actually one of the only crops that African Americans were allowed to sort of really plant liberally. So it's a really big part of the Southern tradition of cooking. And often they braise the collard greens, you know, often with salt pork or any sort of meat product. And the braising liquid is actually really nutritious. It's actually called liquor, L-I-K-K-E-R. And it, you know, was always a source of good nutrition. And I know that many families always think that their recipe is the best family. My approach with the collards was a little bit different today because I knew that we were going to be a little bit short on time. So what I was doing while we were getting started is I basically cut the collard greens. And what you want to do is you see this big stocky part. You actually want to cut that out. So I'm just using my chef's knife to cut it out. My composting bin right there. And I'm going to do two pieces just to demonstrate how it was that I cut them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the leaves and I'm going to roll them up. I would imagine that this is somewhat similar to the way they used to roll tobacco. And I'm going to cut it in thin strips. And what I'm getting, this slice is called the chiffonade, and it's ribbons. So that's exactly what I have here in the pot. I sauteed a little bit of salt, a lot of olive oil, and these are basically cooked. And these have basically cooked for about 15 minutes. It was probably a little bit longer than I needed to. Before we started today, I actually oven roasted some of our cherry tomatoes. From my vantage point, I can see some beautiful tomato plants that have just beautiful, it's unbelievable. Jen and I were talking that we could just go over and pick them, put a little salt maybe and eat them and they would be great. So I oven roasted these tomatoes at about 400 degrees. While those were oven roasting, I also toasted some pine nuts. When you're toasting pine nuts, you really want to make sure that you're paying very close attention. They burn very, very quickly. I also have a pan here with pasta. I used a campanelle shape, which is a bell-like shape. I like to use this shape because of the texture and it kind of holds in some of the flavor from the different sauces. I also have some garlic that was here. I don't know if it was here or one of our other farmers that grew it. And I'm adding it at the end. Sometimes, you know, people start off by sauteing the garlic first. But the reason I wanted to add it at the end is because I was working on a medium-high heat to saute these greens, and I didn't want the garlic to burn. So I'm just going to give that a quick toss. And I also have the juice of 1 lemon, and I'm going to add that as well. I also
Garlic smells amazing.
The garlic is beautiful. I've been using it all week. And you can hear that sizzle. We want a little bit of that lemon juice to evaporate.
Oh.
In the pot with the pasta, I actually have some clumped cheese. I had Parmesan in the recipe, but you can use, I was feeling like having this today, so that's what I chose. But you could use Parmesan. You probably could also even do like a goat cheese or a brie. Both would probably be equally as flavorful. And now what I'm gonna, and I basically cut it small cubes, like so. And the heat from what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to pour this mixture into my pasta along with the tomatoes. And I'm gonna switch out. I'm gonna put this on the heat. I cooked the pasta beforehand, and when I cook pasta beforehand, I like to put a little bit of olive oil in it so it doesn't stick. So that's exactly what I did. I also reserved a little bit of the cooking liquid, which is always a really good thing to do because it helps to sort of bring all of the ingredients together. So this was I love my mason jars. I think as Jen knows, I have a whole collection, which actually is a good thing because they're extremely difficult to come by right now. We actually were trying to source some of them because we can do to-go cocktails from the restaurant. You can't find them.
Nope. I know. I'm lucky. I have a big stash in the basement of all of my.
I know.
jars.
I thought that I had a big stash, but you know, I don't know what happened. So the ribbons, as you can see, they're sort of sticking a little bit together. So I'm going to use my wooden spoon to kind of pull them apart. But what we're getting here, and I'm going to tip this pot so that you can see it, is a very, very colorful dish. Does that work? Can you see? So I have the green from the collard greens. I have the tomatoes. I have my fresh garlic. We also we have beautiful scallions here on the farm as well. We probably could throw those in as well. If you wanted to add, I'm going to add my pine nuts too. If you wanted to add you could grill some chicken, toss that in. Pete and Jen, Jennifer and her husband, Pete, raised amazing, amazing pigs. And their sausage is fantastic. So I also would probably mix this with a little bit of like the Italian sausage. Probably would taste really, really good with this. But in about 15 minutes time, I made dinner. And I really could have cooked the pasta while I was doing everything else. But this is a great meal that I would serve. You know, earlier this week, I used some of the mustard greens that I picked up when I was here. And I tossed them with like a beautiful vinaigrette, a little bit sliced apple. And that was a great salad. So the other green that I have over here, I have the kale. And a lot of the preparations that you could do with the collard greens also apply to working with the kale. And this is what the kale looks like. And basically what you want to do is you want to kind of pull along the stem, and I'm still getting that tough part out. If I were going to make a kale salad, I would want to tenderize the kale. Usually what I do is I sprinkle a little bit of salt, maybe a little olive oil, and really just exactly this. You want to just crush it up, and it kind of breaks down the fiber in the leaf, and it makes it a little bit more tender. What I did here was I actually cut it in a similar way, similar to the chiffonade, and I've been frying it, sauteing it in the pan with a little bit of olive oil. So I had sent around the recipe of 3 different ways to do the greens. One was with the lemon and garlic, which I just did. A third way that you could add a little bit of kick to that lemon and garlic is you could add red pepper flakes or whatever sort of heat you might like. But if I wanted to have a little bit more of an Asian profile, what I would do is I used I have a tiny microplane box grater, and I grated fresh ginger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss the kale with the fresh ginger, and I'm adding sesame oil. And this is one of my favorite flavor profiles. So several options. You could do like an Asian inspired, like a miso glazed cod dish to go along with this. You could also do, there's a fabulous product out of Maine. Have you ever had the Heiwa the tofu? It's so good. It's made in small batches. And since I'm now, responsible for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old while they're doing high school from their bedroom, one of the things that I've been doing is, draining the tofu for about 30 minutes. And then I've been using my panini press to grill it super fast. And then I serve it with there's a really yummy Asian peanut sauce. So I serve it with the peanut sauce and a nice serving of these greens, and you have a full meal ready to go. Lunch on the go. But I think the key thing about all of these, you could do this with spinach. You also could do this with, you could do it with broccoli. What I would do is I would get your broccoli into the bite-sized pieces that you want, or if you want them longer, and I would toss them with the sesame oil and the ginger. And what I would do with the broccoli is I probably would blanch it really quickly, which means that I would bring a pot of water to a rolling boil, heavily salted, and then I would have a water bath, an ice water bath right next to it. So I would cook the broccoli, and then I would plunge it into the cold water, so it shocks it, so it's kind of keeping its nutrients, keeping its color. Also a really great trick for when you're having guests, because you can take it to that point, and then right before you're going to sit down and have dinner, all you need to do is throw the broccoli into your saute pan, into a wok, and toss it with a little bit of sesame and ginger, and you're ready to go. So it has been my pleasure to spend my summer. I feel like I could write my essay about what I did this summer. I spent my summer on the farm, and I hope that when we get to the other side of the pandemic, I really hope that all of you will take the opportunity to come and visit the farm. It really is such a special place. And it's not just about the beautiful landscape, it's actually more about the people. Jennifer and her team, they do yeoman's work. And I know that my sons are very, very proud of the work that they did here this summer. And it was one of those proud parent moments when I heard them, without prompting for me, someone asked them what they did this summer, and they talked about coming to the farm and that they were helping to pack boxes for people. And they felt like they had done something. And I think that at a time when people are feeling, frankly, a little bit hopeless, it's really important for us to stand up and help those who are food insecure and who may need other forms of support. So we thank you for supporting New Entry, and please do come visit us. For now, online, but we hope that you'll come and visit us in person when the time allows. Bon appetit.
Thank you. Are there any questions from our participants in the audience for Tricia, or anything that you heard or would like more clarification about in terms of what she just prepared or how to prepare, something you're curious about?
No questions at the moment. If you have a question, please type it into the Q&A, and we can answer any of those questions.
Great. Well, if there are no questions for now, we can move on to the next portion of our presentation, and then keep them coming in the chat box, and we'll continue to respond throughout. So, someone missed our location. We are up here in Beverly, Massachusetts at Moraine Farm. This is a Trustees of Reservations property, and New Entry has a 10-year lease for the property here for our incubator farm and our office and the barn and things like that. So we're up in Beverly on the North Shore of Massachusetts. Great. All right. I can't really see the questions, so if there aren't any further questions, we can move into the next section of the evening. We're going to do a question and answer session with some of our incubator farmer participants, and this will be moderated by one of our staff, Ben Zoba. He's our beginning farmer educator, who also created all of these wonderful videos. I'm so appreciative of his talents in that regard. So we're going to show a little intro of each of the farmers that we'll hear from, and then we have some questions, and we hope that we can answer some of your questions. So please use the Q&A, and look forward to the next part of the conversation. All right, Heather, you can cue up the video.
I'm Megan Powers.
And this is Kona Farms. This is our first year farming.
We are an agricultural research farm. So we test new and sustainable inputs to organic farming, and we trial them out, see how they do, and then we donate the majority of our produce.
This year we grew lettuce, tomatoes, squash, cucumbers, beets, onions, corn, soybeans.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No, I think that's it. You got
all
them
right,
all.
yeah, and a lot of all of it. It was great.
New Entry's been so great. We have just unlimited access to a great team of people who have so much knowledge about farming. Ben and Brendan and Kevin have been so helpful in answering all of our questions, helping us figure out how to design irrigation, all of the things that a first-time farmer has no idea how to do. They've helped us out. It's been really great. They've also been helpful in getting our produce out of the farm. Since we are a research farm, we had a really hard time moving our produce because we didn't really have a market for it, and the Food Hub has been really helpful in helping us move that.
I'd have to second that. Having all the knowledge of the staff on hand has been awesome. Also, just the vibes from the staff have been excellent. Keeping us motivated, letting us know that it's hard, but it's hard work that's rewarding. And the infrastructure of the farm has been great. Having all the equipment on hand to go with the knowledge and just letting us kind of go as we please, as much as we please, to get everything done has just been fantastic. I love being outside, just being out in the sun, just feeling the vibes of the farm, getting my feet dirty, getting my hands dirty, just getting dirty.
Yeah, I think definitely seconding that, especially during this time of pandemic when so many people can't go outside. It's been super nice to have this natural area where we can come and not have to worry about the rest of the world and just grow food. It's been great.
Hi, my name's Luke Hanneberg. This is my farm. The name's Saturn's Garden LLC. I've been farming for about 2 to 3 years and a couple more years at another farm in New York. We're growing about 15 different crops, and we sell at the Beverly Farmers Market. We have our own CSA, and we also sell to the Food Hub here at New Entry. New Entry gave us access to pretty good farmland here, and there's plenty of water. The wash stations have helped us get stuff to market quickly and make sure it's clean, and really just the facilities here were key to helping us. My favorite thing is probably taking care of the plants. That's my main passion here. So other than that, I really like picking the different varieties and just getting everything ready for the market, making it look great.
My name is Nick Rozowski, and I run Crown and Roots Farm. We are coming up to the end of our 2nd year. We have a diverse vegetable farm as well as cut flowers, and we sell to a small CSA and a few restaurants in the area. I think New Entry has been invaluable. I don't think I'd be able to get as good of a head start as I have without an incubator farm like New Entry. Just being able to bounce ideas off people and being able to kind of make mistakes in a less pressure situation here. There's so many things. I'd say working outside is a big one, as well as being my own boss, but I think at the end of the day, taking food home and being able to cook with it and feed myself and my partner.
All right. Thank you, Heather. So my name's Ben Zoba. Can you hear me, Jennifer?
Yep, I can hear you, but we don't see your video.
Yeah, I think Heather might be working on that.
I'm working on it.
But it's all right. The incubators they're more visually appealing anyway, so we want to be looking at them more than me. But I'm very grateful to be moderating this conversation. You got to see a little brief, oh, there we go. Thanks, Heather. A brief intro of these four. There's a lot I love about my job as the beginning farmer educator with New Entry and working with the incubator farmers, and particularly these four here today has just been such a joy. Nick has been here for 2 years, and the other three, this is their first year. And it's just so fun to see them learn and meet challenges and overcome them and become better and better farmers. So I'm real grateful they're taking the time to be with us today, and we get to ask them a few questions about their experience on the farm. Anything you wanted to add there, Jennifer?
Nope, you're great. And just again, to encourage our guests to put your questions for the farmers or the program in the Q&A so we can take those as we go as well. So thank you. Take it away, Ben.
Great. So we got Elliot, Megan, Nick, and Luke all with us, and you guys can unmute yourselves and just answer. I'll ask the question to all of you, and any of you who has a response, feel free to answer. And if there's follow-up answers you want to add on to another's, go for it. But yeah, just generally, how did the new entry program help you get ready to begin your growing season?
Take a shot at that. So coming in as a first-year farmer, I really didn't know what the process of farming looked like. I didn't like to think about a seed that you have to buy, then get it to the greenhouse, then grow it up, then harden it off, then get it to the field, then water it and water it and water it and water it and water it, and then finally harvest it. I think just kind of helping us see that process from A to Z was really beneficial, and especially the early part of the season, just seeing how it was done was really, really helpful.
Nice. Thanks, Elliot. Yeah, you sure have taken the reins and run with it. The amount of food these guys are growing is pretty impressive for their first year.
Tastes good. Who would have guessed?
I'd say a lot of the logistical stuff, like the food safety and the movement of the food, was something that I didn't really know about going in. And I think having the business class ahead of time really helped us to figure out and plan for some of those things that you don't really think about.
Nice. What would you guys say are some of the advantages of getting started farming on an incubator farm program? I mean, you guys kind of, Elliot and Megan kind of answered that, but it's a general question. Maybe Luke or Nick, what do you think are some of the advantages of starting on an incubator farm setting?
Yeah, for sure. I guess I can take that one now. There's so many advantages. I think not having to throw a whole lot of money into it right at the start, figuring out who you want to market to, how you want to sell your produce, and just kind of get your systems figured out before you go out on your own. Yeah, that's a huge part of it. Super helpful as far as getting a leg up, starting a little farm business.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd agree with Nick. It kind of just takes a lot of the risk out of starting a business in general. So, getting that farmland was a huge key for us, especially in these areas where land is pretty expensive. So just being able to kind of have a little buffer there, you guys at New Entry really helped in terms of just feeling confident about getting out there in the spring or being able to, keep farming the whole season.
Nice. We've got a comment from Gail saying you guys are living the dream. Would you, she says she wants to do this. Your smiles are contagious, I think.
I would agree. We're living the dream.
We got a question from Lori. She says, where do you think you would be without New Entry? Would you have started farming at all? Or how would it be different, do you think?
For me, I think I really don't think I would be able to get the kind of start I have been. I'm a first generation farmer. I don't have land in my family. I think land access is a huge barrier to our, beginner farmers. So I think probably wouldn't have been able to get started.
Yeah, I want to just follow up and say same. Like, I don't think I would have had anywhere near an idea how to get started farming out here without the business planning course or New Entry in general. It was a great resource, made it really a smooth transition.
And having all the components there in one place made it a lot easier too. I'm definitely with the rest of you in that I don't think I would have started farming if it weren't for the ease of all the knowledge and all the infrastructure that New Entry has.
Ben, we also have some questions from the audience. Do you think it's helpful to have farming experience or education before doing a new entry, or is that just redundant? Does new entry provide everything you need?
I mean, I have some gardening experience and I definitely have some plant experience, which I think helped, but I also didn't take the crop production class. And so I think that if you took the full course load that New Entry offers prior to starting the incubator farm, you'd be pretty set.
In terms of like education, I have a degree in agronomy and a master's in ag engineering, and I had no idea how to do anything. So, just like for what that's worth.
And that kind of leads to our second question from the audience to Megan and Elliot. Since your farm is a research farm, what is your business plan?
Yeah,
i.e., how do you make money?
Definitely. We are fortunate in that we are testing new organic products from local businesses that are making organic inputs for agriculture. And so they have questions they want to answer. So they'll buy seeds that we can use. They'll buy I don't know, whatever else you would include in order to grow the food. And then kind of just reimburse us for like our gas and all that. Otherwise, there's not a lot of money to be made. We get to keep the profits of whatever's sold, but it's kind of slim pickings. So we're just trying to get out here to answer the good questions of how do we find local producers of inputs that are useful for plants and healthy for the ecosystem, rather than all the chemical fertilizers and wherever the heck organic fertilizers come from these days that isn't your buddy down the street. So just trying to make sure that we can close the loop on that farm ecosystem on every level.
Great. What are some of your guys' favorite activities to do on the farm? What do you love doing? And then maybe also which activities are like your least favorite? Maybe, yeah, Luke or Nick, what do you think? You got a favorite activity that you like doing when you're out there, or something you expect to test?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm super lucky that I have a great partner. I like doing kind of all the back of the house stuff, if you will. All the kind of the farm work, and then as far as marketing and selling, that would probably be my least favorite. And I'm super lucky because my partner is a graphic designer and is into all of this advertising and getting our message across through social media.
Yeah, I like how Nick included like other aspects besides just the farming, because I like to be in the field too. I see Nick out there all the time. We like to go and pick the varieties, plant the stuff, take care of it. But yeah, the stuff I'm probably worse at, maybe emails and all that other kind of stuff that comes along with the farming that you shouldn't really forget about, especially when you're thinking about doing this for real.
Nice. And Luke, you want to mention maybe how your family, it's become kind of a family project. It's pretty cool to see you and your crew out there.
Yeah, my parents come and they help me out on the farm a lot, especially for the farmers market. Sometimes it's a lot of work, especially when I'm just by myself. So they'll come and they'll help. My brother loves to come out and even just weed, or my dad loves to come help plant or anything like that. Like somebody else said earlier, just to get out of the house these days or go do something outside is really enjoyable for them.
Yeah, it sure is fun to see the whole Hanneberg family there.
Yeah.
So a question for any of the four of you. What's one thing that surprised you most about your farm business?
For this year, I'd say we went into it hoping to have a large portion of our sales go towards restaurants and farmers markets. And we decided at the beginning of the year we weren't going to do either of those. And we kind of fell into a CSA model, delivering to people's houses. And it was, as bad as the pandemic that's been one of the bright sides of our year. We really love the CSA model and are going to continue with that. So that's, yeah.
Cool. Any other surprises from the others out there?
I would say at the farmers market, just kind of getting a good outreach there, because I'm new to Beverly, especially. So going to the market and trying to, pull those people in to come try our stuff, was probably the more surprising thing, how much effort it takes not only to just show up at the market, but to, get the sales and reach a good customer base.
Yeah. How about anyone, I guess Megan and Elliot, the COVID stuff didn't really affect your plan. You just went forward.
Yeah. We definitely had some supply chain issues for sure, especially because we're doing experiments that were very time sensitive. And so things like a lot of the state labs were closed. So when we had to send our samples out to get analyzed for data, we weren't able to do that. So we did run into some roadblocks for sure.
Cool, yeah, and the question for all of you, how did you choose your marketing strategy? How do you tell your story? And Nick, if Abby's there, you're welcome to get her in on answering this too.
Unfortunately, Abby's not here, but I will say we kind of take the lean approach. We didn't spend any money on it. I think word of mouth was our best marketing strategy. Being able to reach out to family and friends, at least at the start. And then we did like a targeted social media advertisement. I think it was like $5, and we connected with a bunch of people from Beverly and Salem and around the North Shore. But it was super simple. We just like to, through our Instagram, do a lot of like nice, the visual aspect is a big part of it. So like get all the colors in there. We do cut flowers as well. So, tell our kind of day-to-day story, both positive and negative. Just be honest with people.
Cool. What is your Instagram handle?
Yep, it's at Crown and Roots Farm.
Okay, nice. How about you, Luke? How did you choose your marketing strategy, and how do you tell your story?
Yeah, so for our marketing strategy, I kind of picked and choose a few different things. We made Instagram, Facebook at the beginning of the year to just like post the market. We have market pre-orders, so we try to get online with those. And I also have the website, saturnsgarden.com, and we tried to make a video for that, which we did post on the Facebook as well to get people to sign up for the CSA. So a lot of the technology aspect, I would say, was big this year, especially with people home. But when we're at the market, I'll always give out like business card, or just, like we try to give out recipes the other week for our pumpkins so people could use them. So just, try to see what's going to be attractive to people, especially during this time, which might be less face-to-face this year and more online.
And how about you guys, Megan and Elliot? Are you looking for more people to do research for next year? How do you go about trying to recruit more contracts?
Yeah, we've actually had some people come to us. We've had some local interests reach out. There was a guy who grows crickets who was trying to use his cricket frass as an amendment. So that was really interesting to talk to him. And being in Elliot and I are based in Somerville, and so being in the Boston area, there's a lot of innovation and technology, and then coming to Beverly with the agriculture, it's just like a great mix of ideas. So there's definitely just like through networking, we're able to make these connections.
I think to kind of add to that, also like the outlet for our food has been very like a challenge for us big time. But to be able to use social media, especially right now, to reach out to people who are accepting donations and people who can get the food at least to people who need it, who want it, who are going to enjoy it, and like make use of it more than anything else, and have it go to a good home. I think more people have been online, and that's been a big help for us in order to like not just waste all this food.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Ben, we have another question from the audience. What are your plans? This is for everybody. What are your plans for the coming year with your farms, and what are your long-term plans? Where do you want to end up with your farms?
I could take a stab. Next year, we're definitely looking to run more of a holistic farm approach. This year, we did a small number of large experiments that required us to plant a ton of one crop at the same time so that we could do an experiment on it, which meant that we had 4,000 heads of lettuce in the end of May that we had to harvest all at once and get rid of. And that was a big hassle. So next year, I'm really looking forward to planting smaller amounts of more diverse crops, trying to get into some intercropping and crop management programs, working with looking at synergy in our inputs and finding new combinations that work. And then long term, I don't know. Elliot, what's your long-term plan as the owner of the LLC?
Long term, hoping to kind of ride this wave of everybody becoming more aware of the importance of farming and farms and kind of the resources that are going into them, and really build a farming ecosystem that is building itself. So find something that is just making the healthiest, best soil that we can, that's going to make amazing tasting food that's really good for you and goes the mile, and is not only making great things for us to consume and sell, but also just make the land so much better. And in terms of finding a business in which that's possible, I think that as we move forward and the value of resources kind of goes up, like land's already expensive, but the idea of measuring our resources available in the land is getting more and more popular. And I think kind of banking on that to try and build something, whether it's on the North Shore of Massachusetts or whether it's somewhere else, definitely see a long-term project here to just build this ecosystem that hopefully other people can see and replicate.
Awesome. How about you other two?
Yeah, I can tell about my long-term plans. So this is our second year at the incubator farm. So we are really looking forward to next year and kind of zoning into the exact markets and what people want out of us. And then long term, we hope to really dig into more of a, once all of our social distancing can be eliminated, we hope to have a farm where it's kind of a community gathering place. We'd like to have a restaurant on the farm, kind of dig into that community aspect of the CSA and really make good connections there and have, neighbors meet each other and yeah, have people on the farm.
Can't wait to visit it, Nick.
Yeah. This year felt, as much as we love this year, it felt like a more of a delivery service, as opposed to really making those connections face to face with people. But yeah, we're excited about having people on the farm eventually.
Beautiful.
So last year was, I guess, my first year farming on my own. I was in my cousin's backyard in Rutland, Massachusetts. So it really wasn't ideal. So short term, we're just looking to, kind of take advantage of the resources and everything at New Entry and kind of, fill out our quarter acre a little better. I'm sure next year I'll be able to get there sooner, having moved from New York and all that. So we're really hoping to just maximize what we can do at New Entry. We have a couple more years there. So really just kind of hunker down here, find some more markets, and, just enjoy farming up here, try to reach some more customers right now.
Great. Well, I'm sure all you viewers can see why I have such a good time at my job, get to hang out with these guys and talk with them and see them at work. So, and thank you all for your questions that are coming in. These are great. Actually, there is another one from Pam that has come in for all four of you. What do you do in the winter time? And do you have to have another job to help you financially to get through the entire year?
I can go first on that one. For us on our scale, I think it would be very difficult to have a quarter or a half acre support full-time year-round work. We were able to make it work for the summer this year. And in the winters, I work in a restaurant. So be starting that back up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so full year, I am a research soil microbiologist. That's my full-time job. Farming has been a fortunate hobby and second gig to kind of really fill out my regular 8 to 10 hour days and turn them into regular 14 to 15 hour days during the summer. So in the winter, I think my job is going to be taking care of myself a lot and resuming all of the lab work and emails and everything else that I've just not being explaining why I've been pushing it off on the other end while enjoying farming. So I think winter is going to be a big take care of myself job.
Nice.
Yeah. I just finished college last year, so this spring I kind of just took time to plan a farm, and then this summer just to farm. So this winter, definitely going to look forward to planning some more, really have it all written out, ready to go, the planting schedule and all that for next year. And then, yeah, probably find another job because all the equipment and stuff is expensive, especially when you're just starting out.
Just out of curiosity, are you guys thinking of expanding your acreage next year at New Entry? So, Elliot, Luke, Megan, you were all at a quarter acre since it was your first year, and Nick at a half. Are you guys thinking of bumping up, growing on more land at Moraine next year? Or you want to just keep it dialed in on the scale you're at and focus on quality?
I think the quarter acre really allows us to get down and dirty with what we're doing and to really focus on each individual plant and to really know the whole field. So I think we're staying with the quarter acre, but we're definitely going to try to hire some help because it was a lot with just us.
Yeah, I just second that. I would like to do a half acre. I loved the quarter acre, but I don't know if a half acre is physically possible.
That shows your wisdom that you know when to not expand.
Yeah, thank you, New Entry staff, for imputing that wisdom on us. We totally took that from you guys.
Yeah, I actually stayed on a half an acre into my second year. So next year, I hope to go to, I stayed on a quarter of an acre into my second year. I think the idea of growing better instead of bigger, I think weeds could have been a problem, and I think just focusing in on the quality, starting small and expanding as you go is one of the best aspects of starting on an incubator farm. Yeah.
What do you think you'll do next year? Another quarter again, or?
I think we'll go up to half an acre. Yep. I think we'll be
ready.
Comfortable with that. Yep.
Yeah. Nice. What are you thinking, Luke? You got any ideas?
I'd like to go to a half. This year, I definitely know I got a late start out there, just trying to get up here. And it was pretty wet, but my field was, was one of the drier ones, so I did get out, but not as early as I'd like. So I would definitely consider doing a half just to be able to do some more kind of wholesale stuff in a section, and then have a section for the farmers market and the CSA, because you realize it's all different, you know, diversity for each kind of market stream. So I think I can picture it well enough now to maybe incorporate the wholesale in one area and then the market stuff in the other. And I think, you know, half acre would be pretty appropriate for that.
Cool, exciting. All right, and what do you guys think, what could consumers do to support farmers and local agriculture? And maybe my follow-up question would be just a general reflection on, yeah, what can we as a society, you know, some of the viewers here aren't necessarily growers, but what can we all do to kind of improve the food system? But yeah, what can consumers do to help support farmers and local agriculture? Any thoughts?
I would say go to the farmers market, get to know the farmers, visit farms, grow your own food if you can. Try to really be involved in the process of where your food comes from. And it makes it, I mean, it makes it all the more better. Like food fresh from the farm tastes so good. And it's healthier and better for the environment and better for you. So I really encourage everyone to just try to shorten the process as much as possible.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. Go to the farmers market, sign up for a CSA. I know the Food Hub has a really great one, and they deliver, I believe, and they do pickups. They have a lot of options. I think, yeah, you're kind of getting a different product when you buy it straight off the farm. Our products aren't sitting in the fridge for weeks, kind of ripening there. Yeah, I think getting to know your local farmer and being aware of where your food is coming from would help the local food scene quite a bit.
Tell your friends that local food is awesome. Just like spread the word.
Yeah, I would agree. And to Ben's point where he said, you know, not everybody's a grower, you know, you don't have to be afraid to come out and see the farm or see what we're doing. It might sound technical or all that, but, you know, everybody's really nice, and just maybe just take that first little step to kind of get out there to the farm or to the market. And I think it's really worth it. So. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are maybe afraid of getting a CSA because they think it's going to be too much food. But I think that it's important to remember that you can always share food with your neighbors and with your friends, and that is one of the foundations of community. And I know we've been doing a lot of food sharing this summer, and it's really awesome.
I was sure grateful when you shared your tomatoes with me. Nice. Well, we'll give people another chance to ask any questions in the Q&A there. Nick, I was kind of curious, you like to cook. I was wondering if you had made anything with any farm produce that.
Yeah, sure. We've recently been getting an abundance of eggplants. So we made a bunch of baba ganoush and really love that with like the za'atar seasoning and frying up some eggplants. And yeah, I think all year that's been the best, you know, it's been such a great bonus for us to bring food home at the end of the day and eat dinner like that.
Sounds great. Luca, I was wondering if you might share, you know, you kind of realized you wanted to get into farming at a young age, and seems like your parents have been very supportive in that. Yeah, you want to talk at all about
Yeah, sure. So I grew up down the street from, it's called Stone Barns, and it's a farm near my house in Pleasantville, New York. So I would go there and volunteer. And it was, one of the more enjoyable things I think that my parents brought me to do. You got to go like practice planting or just like hang out with some of the farm animals and stuff like that. So I really liked that, doing that. And then I eventually worked at a greenhouse near me. It was a aquaponics greenhouse. So I'm more used to greenhouse stuff, but wherever the farming kind of took me, it was fun. And my parents have definitely been there and just encouraged me to try it out, even though, we don't know too much about farming. We know a lot about like gardening on a small scale, and I have a decent knowledge about plants from my work, but they've just kind of been there supporting me through the different places and stages I might have been at to end up here at New Entry.
Luke, how did you decide to end up on the North Shore since you're from New York?
I found the New Entry program online. So I was just searching for land everywhere. And the Hudson Valley, where I live in New York, is pretty expensive for farming.
It's primo, yeah.
So definitely the answer was to try it, further up north here. And I used my cousin's backyard, and that wasn't really going to cut it. So I had to just keep looking around this area. So
cool.
Over here, yep.
Yeah, Luke was dedicated. How far are you driving when you come up from New York?
It was like 3.5 hours, I think, for class, the business planning classes in the winter.
Luke would drive 3.5 hours to come to the business class, and then he was sharp as a tack when he was in there.
No one's too far.
Yeah. Nice. Megan and or Elliot, any pump-ups about soil microbes you want to share with us? I've enjoyed talking with these guys about soil and soil health, but yeah, I don't know if you have any thoughts you want to share with us.
Yeah, Megan, what do you got?
Oh, me? Yeah, I mean, I'm just still in awe of how good the soil is at Moraine Farm, and that it really shows that when you do these practices that are promoted as regenerative, when you plant cover crop, when you have organic practices, when you rotate, you get good soil and it works, and you can maintain a farm for hundreds of years on the same land, which is incredible. And I really hope that we can all move towards doing that on all of our lands, because I think the system of farming corn for 10 years and then leaving forever is rough.
Yeah, to follow that up just on soil microbiology in general, I don't know, a big passion of mine. I'm a big dirt nerd. But seeing Moraine Farm for the first time, I thought it was an incredible sight and experience. And then I come from Midwest agriculture. So in the Midwest, it's like corn and soybeans for miles. You don't see anything else. You're lucky to see trees. You're lucky to see a river. It's just corn and soybeans. And to come and see this beautiful land that had soil that looks like what you see in the Midwest, which is dark black and super rich in soil organic matter and thriving microbiome. And to just see it up here, I was blown away at first. And then I think it might be better up here. We might be doing better at Moraine Farm than they're doing other places, just because on a very fine level, it is just beautiful. Like, it's soil aggregates, the big clumps of soil that you see are a great measurement of how healthy the microbiome is. And I mistake them for rocks all the time up here. I'm like, that's such a big thing of soil, but it's not a rock, it's soil. It's crazy.
Wow. No wonder the food tastes so good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you all so much for taking time out of your Saturday. I know you're all working real hard this time of year, and just so fun to hear your stories, hear your perspectives. I was very affected when I heard that some of you may not be farming if the incubator wasn't an option. And to me, that's tragic to imagine, just having seen how well you've done this year and how much food you've grown, and to see the joy that you've brought to other people and the joy you exude when I see you there. So just real thankful that you guys ended up on the farm and that those who are participating in this chat and have supported New Entry have made it possible for us all to engage in this most important work together. And yeah, just thank all 4 of you for participating in this and keep growing. Real proud of you guys.
Thanks, Ben.
You guys.
Yes, thank you so much to all of you for that. I feel like I learned so much about your stories and yeah, your passion and why you're doing this. So, and thank you for feeding the community. I mean, I think too, that's, you know, I hope all the consumers out there who benefit from your hard work really appreciate the love and care that you put into the food that you grow. So thank you all for being here and for participating. All right, well, we're at the point in the evening where we have a drawing. So we'd love to share with those lucky few of you who are going to have your names drawn. We have a few prizes. I don't know if you can see them in the background here, but I'll grab them as we go. And Heather is going to pick some names off of our attendee list and we'll announce the winners. So I guess we can, the first prize. Yep, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I've got my names all written down and on folded up sheets of paper, and I'm going to draw them out of the fishbowl. All right, what's the first
All right,
item?
so we have a New Entry t-shirt. So for the lucky winner, that will be
Jeanette McGuinn.
Jeanette, all right. Jeanette took our business planning course over the winter and has started a farm up here on the North Shore as well. So we're super excited to have you have one of our t-shirts. We'll make sure to get that to you. Thank you. And then next we have a set of New Entry wine glasses. So as you're eating your delicious collard pasta, cherry tomato, lemon, garlic, magnificent dish, you can tip back some lovely bubbly or wine and enjoy those out of some branded New Entry glasses. So who is our lucky wine glass winner?
That is Pam Steele.
Pam Steele, wonderful. Well, good, enjoy those. I hope you have some great beverages. Next we have one of our New Entry mason jars. When you come to our farm to table event, these are your drinking glasses, but they make great pencil holders, mugs, and this is filled with wonderful Lindt truffle chocolates. So who's the lucky winner of our New Entry mason jar?
This is funny. It's Graham Ball. So
ball jars. All right, Graham, I hope you enjoy those. They're in hot demand right now, hot commodities, these ball jars these days. So. Next, we have a beautiful New Entry cutting board and wooden spoon. So hopefully, as again, you're chopping your garlic and other lovely farm fresh vegetables, you can think of your farmers and who grew those for you.
Excellent. And that goes to Abby Berner, an
Abby
alumni
Berner.
of the Friedman School.
Oh, awesome. Wonderful. Good. I hope you have many, many sharp knives that enjoy that cutting board. And for our grand finale, we have it won't be this exact CSA share, but we are going to gift a 1-week CSA share pickup to the lucky winner, and you can pick up your share at either whatever week of choice and whatever location of choice. And our CSA locations are both here at the Waldorf School at Marine Farm. We have a pickup in Medford, normally on the Tufts campus, but during COVID, it's at the Condon Shell near the river in Medford, or at Pemberton Farms in Cambridge, the Tufts Friedman School in Chinatown, or the Flatbed Pizza in Bedford. We also do have a courier service if someone would like home delivery. We can make that arrangement as well. So who would be the lucky winner of a CSA week share?
That is going to be Kara Swan.
Kara Swan, awesome. Well, I hope you enjoy that. We have so many amazing things: squashes, carrots, leeks, herbs, eggplant. I don't know if anyone has seen these little Kermit eggplant. These are kind of a really cool little eggplant. Lots of unique varieties. We have so many different farmers growing so many diverse crops. So thank you all for that. I hope you enjoy your New Entry swag. We're super excited to share that with you. And just wanted to thank you all again for attending this evening. We're really appreciative of it. I hope you learned something new, learned some new things about our program and the farmers, and we invite you to get involved with New Entry. So again, we have volunteer opportunities both at our food hub or at the farm. You can sign up to volunteer on our website. You're also welcome to register for any of our courses. If you just got the itch tonight listening to our farmers and want to get your hands in the dirt, we have a regular Explore Farming course that's coming up, and our business planning course will be entirely online this year. So we're happy to have you sign up and learn to farm and have you maybe out here on the incubator someday. You're also welcome to sign up for a CSA share. It's not too late to do CSA your way for the rest of the season. September and October are filled with lots of good storage crops and greens and all the sweetness that the vegetables get after the frost. So definitely sign up for the CSA if you're in the area. We'd love to have you join us for that. And of course, you're also welcome to support New Entry. You can make a gift or donate on our website to help us continue our good work. So thank you all again for being part of this event this evening. We really appreciate it and look forward to staying in touch. Thank you. And if there are any final questions, I'm happy to answer them, but otherwise we'll just end the session and really appreciate it. And thank you to Tricia and all the farmers and all the staff at Tufts who've helped make this event possible. So have a good rest of your evening.